Hi, welcome to Bookey. Today, we will unlock the book The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership for you. In 1937, two brothers opened a small drive-in restaurant in Pasadena, east of Glendale in California. Instead of entering the restaurant, customers could drive into the parking lot around the diner, order from a waiter who walked up to the window, and then enjoy their food in the car. The restaurant was a huge success. The brothers then made a series of adjustments, including relocating, expanding the front of the restaurant, updating the menu, and changing the cutlery. Their business was booming. The brothers are Dick and Maurice McDonald. Their restaurant was McDonald's. When McDonald's became one of the most profitable restaurants in the country, they began to promote the McDonald's business concept and developed into a restaurant chain. However, their restaurant chain ended up in trouble because their limited leadership skills and narrow vision hindered the further development of the enterprise. Their leadership was like a lid on their chances of success. Maxwell points out that the lid determines the amount of water in the pot, just as leadership determines a person's potential. This is what he calls the law of the lid. Unlike the McDonald brothers, a man named Ray Kroc had better leadership skills, and eventually built McDonald's into a national and global enterprise. He bought the McDonald's franchise and used it as a model to open other restaurants. Then, he started building the team and the organization, recruited new people with leadership skills, and constantly moved the company forward. Thus, Maxwell argues that individual success without leadership, like the McDonald brothers, can only achieve limited results. The higher a person wants to climb, the more leadership he or she needs. To make a bigger impact, you need more leadership. Leadership can multiply results. That's why Maxwell has been teaching leadership for decades. Maxwell is a world-renowned expert on leadership and interpersonal relationships, author of The 360-Degree Leader and Success is a Choice. The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership is one of his bestsellers. It describes the 21 rules of leadership, including the law of the lid we just mentioned. Here, we'll discuss other rules from different angles in 3 parts. Part 1: Good leaders improve themselves. Part 2: Good leaders lead. Part 3: Good leaders optimize the organization. Part 1: Good leaders improve themselves. We know that leadership is very important, but do you really know what leadership is? When it comes to leadership, people tend to have a misconception that all leaders have leadership skills. As long as the person has a big title or is given a leadership position, he or she is a leader. However, this does not mean that this person has leadership abilities. Let's take the example of Abraham Lincoln. Decades before becoming president, Lincoln had organized a group of young men to fight in the Black Hawk War, where he held the rank of captain. However, he knew nothing about leading troops into battle and could not remember even the simplest military procedures. Once he led a march of more than 20 men through a field and needed to direct them through a gate to another field. However, he did not know how to give the order to change the horizontal line into a single line. As he neared the gate, he called out, "This company is dismissed for 2 minutes, when it will fall in again on the other side of the gate." It was this lack of leadership that caused Lincoln's influence over the rest of the militia company to wane over time, and when other officers were promoted, he was demoted to private. From this, we can see that if you cannot effectively influence people, they will not listen to you, and as a consequence you are not a leader. This is the law of influence. A true leadership position cannot be assigned or delegated. It comes from influence. In other words, leadership is about influence. An influential person, even if he or she is not a leader, is still a person with leadership. Maurice Saatchi, CEO of Saatchi & Saatchi, possesses this influence. When the board fired him, several senior executives followed him, many of his biggest clients stopped working with the company, and the company's stock price plummeted. This is the result of the law of influence. Although Saatchi lost his title and position,